Hello and welcome to Chapter A of the OpenStax Lifespan Development Textbook. My name is Matthew Poole, and today we're going over social and emotional development in middle childhood, ages 7 to 12. All the following information is directly from OpenStax free resources online regarding the subject of lifespan development. And you can find a link to the free textbook in the description below. Let's begin. Figure 8.1. Middle childhood is an important time of growth in understanding and developing one's identity. Contexts such as peers and school play a significant role as children grow through this life stage. Let's look at a chapter outline. This is what we'll be looking into today. And in section 8.1, identity, self-concept, and self-esteem in middle childhood. 8.2, emotional development and socio-emotional learning in middle childhood. 8.3, social context, peers, family, and media. 8.4, context, school, and extracurricular activities. And 8.5, atypical development and interventions. In section 8.1, we're going to look at identity, self-concept, and self-esteem in middle childhood. What we'll do is we'll describe the features of Erikson's industry versus inferiority challenge, discuss self-efficacy and self-esteem as they relate to personality development, describe gender identity and role development in middle childhood, and describe racial and ethnic identity development in middle childhood. Figure 8.2, hobbies and interests are one important way children develop self-concept. These children are engaging in peer interactions and developing self-concept through, as seen in image A, a role-play gaming group, and in image B, a band performance. Self-esteem is influenced and shaped by comparing our ideal self to how we actually evaluate ourselves or our self-concept. 8.2, emotional development and socio-emotional learning in middle childhood. What we'll do in this section is discuss the developing social skills of children in middle childhood, describe developmental achievements in emotional regulation, and describe developmental achievements in social cognition and moral reasoning. Figure 8.4, children in middle childhood are developing skills that help them understand and regulate their emotions and emotional responses. Let's look at Table 8.1, common coping strategies in middle childhood. We'll look at the coping strategy on the left side of the column and then a description. Firstly is problem solving. To describe this, it's identifying and using a solution to a problem to resolve the issue. Next, behavioral and cognitive distraction. This is shifting attention away from the stress-causing situation. Support seeking is relying on adults or peers for help with coping. Then we have escape/avoidance. This is leaving the stressful environment or avoiding the problem. Cognitive reframing, trying to think of the problem differently, such as focusing on the positive. Self-reliance, this is accepting responsibility or otherwise regulating emotions alone. Next, opposition, this is blaming others for problems. And finally, rumination. This is when individuals think about the problem over and over. Figure 8.5. Positive coping techniques and the development of social cognition both facilitate healthy relationships and social interactions. Here in section 8.3, let's look at social context, peers, family, and media in middle childhood. We'll briefly describe the nature of friendships and peer status in middle childhood. We'll discuss the influence of family during middle childhood, describe features of aggression and bullying in middle childhood, and analyze the positive and negative aspects of media use in middle childhood. Figure 8.6. Researchers can gain understanding into peer status as an element of social development through studies that anonymously have children provide input about which classmates they most enjoy spending time with. You have the image above, many positive nominations, many negative nominations, a few positive nominations, and then to the left, fewer negative nominations in the four domains of popular, controversial, peer, and peer neglect. In Figure 8.7, positive family interactions include parents engaging in regular activities with their children. And in Figure 8.8, let's look at children's living arrangements. The majority of children are living with two parents while many others are living with one parent or a non-parent caregiver. About 70% have two parents, 21% have one parent, the mother, 5% have one parent, the father, 2% have grandparents, and then 2% have other primary caregiver. In figure 8.9, siblings such as these two pairs are important relationships during middle childhood and can help children develop healthy social skills. 8.4, context, school and extracurricular activities in middle childhood. What we'll do is we will briefly identify features of the school climate that foster development, describe types of teacher-student relationships, and discuss the goals of the positive youth development model. Figure 8.10, the classroom environment plays an important role in a child's relationship to the teacher one-on-one and in peer groups. Figure 8.11, involvement in extracurricular activities such as seen in Image A, the school's marching band, or as seen in Image B, a theater group, can promote healthy developmental skills, including resilience. In section 8.5, we have atypical development and interventions in middle childhood. What we'll do is briefly identify and define the features of common behaviors that can be problematic for children's social and emotional well-being, identify the features of developmental disorders common in middle childhood, and discuss typical developmental pathways and interventions for promoting mental health, well-being, and resilience in childhood. Figure 8.12, data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show an increase in the percentage of U.S. children diagnosed with certain mental health disorders beginning during middle childhood. At the image above, we have the prevalence of internalizing disorders by age range. We have the prevalence to the left, and I encourage you to pause the video and go through each of the three categories. We have the depressive disorders, the anxiety disorders, and the behavior disorders, and we have the prevalence for each, except for the behavior disorder, increasing as years go by from 3 to 5 to 6 to 11 and 12 to 17. I'm curious of your all's opinions on what may influence these difficulties in the comments. I'd like you to comment, what do you think in today's current time frame or timeline? What do you think really influences the onset of this, especially during the adolescent years? I'm curious of your all's opinions. And if today's time and with technology influences that significantly. This will conclude Chapter 8, a brief lesson today. I hope to see you in the next one for Chapter 9. Again, you can find a link to the free textbook in the description below. All the following information is directly from OpenStax, and thank you OpenStax for providing this free resource for students. We'll see you in the next one, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.